There they are.
Finally, all the lies and deceit and misdirection can be put behind us, and we can celebrate a good birthday here. So, and this was a surprise, and I'll tell you, it was for her anyway. And it was very, very hard to keep a secret. It was tough. And what I wanted to do was to tell you just real quickly how Peggy and I met. And it was about almost 42 years ago that I was a young airman stationed at Chanute Air Force Base in Illinois. And I was getting kind of tired hanging around the barracks all the time, so I had a friend who decided that he was going to, that he was going to take me up to LaSalle, Illinois, and have him introduce me to a girl that he was seeing, that he had met up in Illinois. And so I just kind of went along for the ride, so to speak, and met Peggy in the meantime through the friend that was that was a mutual friend. So. And the first night that I met her, it was on, I would have swore it was March the 6th. And for a long time, I'll go ahead and tell you this whole story too, for a long time, I couldn't remember whether the big day was the 6th or the 8th. So what I would do, and of course it's a birthday and an anniversary, what I would do is along about the 4th or 5th of March, I would break down and give her the present and say, I just can't wait. But finally, after many, many years, it did finally hit my mind that it was March the 8th. We met on March the 8th. We met on her 18th birthday. And it took 2 more years for us to actually get married. We married on her birthday as well. So we've got 40 years in as well come Monday. I was kind of impressed with her on the first time I met her, because she was just getting ready to leave for a double date, and she kept the other guy waiting about 20 minutes while she talked to me and the other folks, and when I told her that I was in the Air Force, she asked me the question she asked me, and I thought, this is it. I've got to really stay close to this girl. She asked me, "You're in the Air Force. What kind of plane do you fly?" And I'm thinking, if this girl was that naive, you know, I got a chance to take some additional training after we dated for a while, and it was a kind of a long distance relationship. I would drive up on the weekends. And I got sent down to an air base down by St. Louis, so I'd make that long trip on a Friday night and stay in the motel there, and then I would I'd see her over the weekend and go back on Monday morning early. Well, I got a chance to get some extra training, so that was going to be a 10-day situation. I was going to go to Texas, so I called her one night and said, I'm going to go to Texas to get some training, and I won't be able to see you for a couple of weeks. And then by the time that I was looking to get the orders, I got another call from the base that said I was going to be going to Vietnam for a year. So I had to call her back, tell her, well, it looks like it's going to be longer than a couple of weeks. And then when I got back to the base, prepared to go to Vietnam, then I found out that, well, that was a mistake. I was going to Japan for 2 years. So it went from 10 days to a year to 2 years. And I thought, well, that's a long time, and maybe something needs to be done before that. So I just broke down and I asked her to marry me, and she said no. And I gave her a little bit to think about it, and she still said no. And it was probably, again, a very long distance relationship. I was fortunate I was in the telecommunications field, and I was able to get some cheap phone calls back to the U.S., and the operators would put me through. They were real nice, and we would talk, and I would send her letters, and finally I didn't have the nerve to ask her to marry me on the phone, so I sent her a proposal in a letter first, and then later on, after I figured that she had time to receive it, I worked up the courage finally to call her, and she saw the error in her ways at that point. And said yes. And like Peggy always is, and I'm sure you all know her, she immediately took charge, and she made all the arrangements for the wedding and everything. And I'm thinking, really, this girl is great. And all I had to do was come home and get married. So, and that's been many good years ago. And I always like to say, we've been married 38 happy years. We've been married 40, 38 of them are happy. And that's probably all I've got to say right now. I don't want to call her up yet because I would really get slud. Thank you all very, very much for coming. We've got folks who came from out of state, family who are here and locally, and it's just great to see everybody and happy to take part in this and to keep her honest, while the rest of us haven't been. So to begin, what we're going to have is Trish, our niece, has a slide presentation prepared. I hope you can all see it there on the wall, and we'll play it again after a bit. But after we do that, and while Peggy gets a chance to get around and see everybody, then while she's doing that, we'll have something to eat. I would like to introduce, just in case you haven't met the family, this was Jennifer's idea. I had nothing to do with deciding on this. Jennifer, our daughter, was the one who came up with the whole thing. Kyle, our son there at the switch, he was also very implicit in this, and we had help from Jennifer's husband, Rick, Spencer, and Malia, of course. And we also had help from Patty and Colin. So we're just real happy that we were able to get this done without much knowledge on your part. So we'll see this, and then we'll have just a bit of a blessing over our snacks here, and we'll keep going from there. One final thing I would like to point out and thank Sue Gratton. Sue is the baker of the cakes. So she has done an excellent job. Thank you very much, Sue. She's a good friend of ours, and we love her too. So without any other, I'm not going to take any questions. So without any further ado,